Okay, it's August 6th at the Blackwater River Farm today. It's not the new farm anymore. It was a little over a year ago now that we closed on this place, so it's no longer the new farm. But last time I was out here, I sprayed weeds on half of my food plot, and I broadcast some clover. Well, that was another time, but that's all I've done in the last month. Is I've been here one time and sprayed, and another time and spread some clover seed. Had some bare dirt and was just trying to, take a chance on maybe getting it to germinate. So I'm curious to see about that, because after I put that clover down, we actually got a little rain. We were still in a deep drought, but we actually got a little rain. It kind of seemed like just enough to maybe get that seed to germinate. And then this week, we have broken the drought here in central Missouri. It started raining Monday and pretty much rained all week. I had a 5-gallon bucket in the back of my old Chevy at the farm, and sitting in the back of a truck. It was dry, and now it's about that far from the top, full of water. So it just rained all week, and some days we got several inches. So, but the rivers, I drove by the Blackwater River that I butt up to here on this farm, just to see how high it was, and it was up quite a bit higher, but it's back down to sort of a normal level. I wasn't sure, this is a WRP, it's wetland, this is bottom ground, so I thought there was a chance we might have some flooding, but I don't think that's the case. I'm curious to see how the duck pond, see if it's got water. We've just been in a really a pretty bad drought, so curious to see how things are going. I can't really do much today, other than I'm going to check that got much green on that side I'd already sprayed. I'm going to hit it with some glyphosate and be ready to plant food plots. Well, just as I thought, weedy as heck, but I tell you, the clover is established. It really is. It's boot high right through here, and you see all these tall weeds, but down below it's clover, solid clover underneath. So this isn't the best scenario for a food plot, but the clover is here. The other half of the plot over there, the last spray I did got a pretty good kill, I can see. So a little bit of green, so I'm going to go over there and hit it with a light mix of glyphosate in a few spots, and then that side will be prepped for planting. And I don't want to spray too much on this clover side, but we're going to have to address these weeds at some point. It doesn't necessarily have to be this year, but maybe I can brush hog it down lower. That way the clover can compete a little better. This is actually amazing summer deer habitat. And I don't want to spook too many deer while I'm out here. I've got 2 or 3 does. I know one doe with twins and another doe with a single fawn, and I think there's another doe and fawn that are coming in here, and they're regulars. I hate to spook them off here any more than I absolutely have to, but it's kind of windy today, so maybe I can avoid it. But this is let's turn it back. This is beautiful. Duck pond is back in there. We'll check on that here in a minute. Slip back here and see what's going on with the duck pond. Well, not much. We must not have got as much rain here as we did at home. Yep. No water in the duck pond. I've got three cameras and three regular trail cams and a cell here. I walked down my access trail here and pulled a card on one of them, but I'm gonna leave the rest of them be. Haven't spooked any deer, so I'm gonna get out of here before I do. Be back in a week or so to plant our food plot. Oh yeah, and by the way, this farm will be up for lease this year. It has to be in this calendar year. So maybe I'll open it up for late season deer or duck, whatever. But this property was bought as an investment for Whitetail Dimension LLC, so to get the tax benefits from it, you know, from the expenses we have here on the farm, it has to be out on the open market as far as available for lease. So that's what we're going to do later in the year. I'm going to, early in the year, go after that big 11 pointer that we got pictures of. It's kind of selfish, but I think in the long run, if I could shoot that buck and possibly get it on film, in the long run, that's going to be the best thing for this property. So that's how I'm going to approach it this year. Now it's on to the home farm. Okay, we're on the home farm now. It's a little bit different scenario, different setup here, actually quite a bit different. Got 2 acres of beans here that will be left standing, and then as it starts to turn brown, I'll broadcast radish in part of it, and rye or wheat in the other the other part, and I'll have some green underneath the bean pods. There'll be a tremendous amount of food there for the deer this winter. Also have clover over here. It's weedy, kind of sparse. Down that way, the other part of the letter B shaped plot there is clover's a little better down there, and you know, it's not a lush green carpet of clover, but there's a lot of clover in there. So I don't know if I want to do too much with this. I would like to have an area of like a green mix, like peas and oats or something like that. So may do that in this little half acre spot up here, but I'm probably gonna have to work the ground. Definitely need to spray. This home farm sets up with a little more ag. Got ag over on my neighbor just on the other side of that tree line. Is 500 yards of ag before any more cover. Actually more than that. Same thing back that way to the south. Tree stand set up right there. I'm hoping to get on an early season buck right there. As per last year, had a nice buck. First week of season, walked right by there in daylight. I don't know if that buck is actually still alive or if his rack has changed so much I don't recognize him anymore, but yeah, I waited till closer to the pre-rut time to hunt him and never saw him. Never had another daylight picture beyond early October when I was waiting, and I probably should have hunted him, but we'll see. Got the big, well, best I can tell, he's a 7x7 non-typical. He's made an appearance. Another really good 10 pointer has made an appearance. I think my neighbor's getting pictures of a buck that he thinks is my 7x7, but I think it's a different deer. There's another non-typical kind of looking deer, like a 6x4 or something like that, that I've got pictures of. So there's possibly 3 potential shooters to hunt here on the home farm. And Blackwater River Farm, we've had the 11 pointer, mainframe 11 pointer showed up there, so hoping to get a chance to hunt him. I only have one picture of these big bucks. I only have just one set of pictures of them. Like they've been through, checked out the area, and they've moved on to wherever they do most of their summer habitat. But come fall, they'll be back. They'll be back. All right, we're at the home farm. I'm up here on the persimmon plot. Mock scrape camera behind me. Mock scrape right there. This persimmon plot. This is actually, it's weedy. That's kind of a common theme. Weedy clover plots, but plenty of clover for the deer in this little interior plot. This little kill plot. It hasn't happened yet, but there's a big buck to be killed here. This brush pile's grown up so much you can't see it, but I've got a stand up there, and I can access in either across my neighbor's ag, he lets me, or I can just walk the perimeter, depending on the wind, and slip into that stand overlooking this little plot, the persimmon plot. I still don't know what's going on with my persimmon trees. Let's see here. All bent over and hunched over. That's usually a fruit tree. No fruit on it this year. That one's all drooped over. It has fruit. Some of the others have fruit too, but it's going to be a below average year for a persimmon crop. But this is it up here on the home farm. I'm not going to do a darn thing to this plot. Going to leave it alone. Let the clover have it. Call it good.